you're watching the Top 6 Show, the original multi-club fan channel. Make sure you're following us now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The link is in the description below. Welcome back to the Top 6 Show, sponsored again this Friday by the brilliant people at Match Bingo. More to come on them a little bit later, but get their app downloaded now. Get it done. Scan the QR code. But that's above my head. Forgot what I was going to say then. You get 10 free cards per month until the end of the season. And later on, I'm going to take you through exactly how to play this amazing game during Premier League and Championship games. We've got a wonderful panel on for you tonight. Man like Ram and LB here going to be helping us preview the big game between Man City and Liverpool this weekend. We've got my brother in the house, Egal here, repping Arsenal. Young Kate is here with us, talking about Tottenham Hotspur, and Phil making his debut on the Top 6 Show tonight, repping Manchester United, is here with us as well. How are we all, ladies and gents?
Good.
Not bad.
Thank
not
you.
bad.
Good, thanks. Good.
How you guys doing?
Forward to the show. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, more to the point, Terry. How are you?
I'm tired. I was very drunk, dancing, bit of candy, a few other songs as well. And KJ's family have this mad tradition. So they do candy and everyone does a dance. And then they put on a jungle song. It's a lot quicker. And then you've got to do the candy dance with the jungle song really, really fast. And I just went and stood by the side. I'm like, nah, I'm not even, I was going to break my knee. My knee was going to pop out of socket. But it was good. It was a really, 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 really beautiful day. A really good night. A few bevies, of course. But and it was cheap because it was up in Middle Earth in Birmingham. Cheap. £4.50 for a double whiskey and Coke.
Congratulations to KJ. That's all I can say, man. Big up to him.
Big up to KJ,
we
man.
sit on the last show as well. Man's married now, living his best life. But just please hurry up and get back. I need you at work. And make it go quickly. Where's the Villa fan? Oh, where's the Villa fan, Terry? I keep really sorry. Again, Lee Gunner, I apologize that we don't have any Villa fans on here for you today. I know it's disrespectful, my man. I am sorry. Starting with Man United, Phil, I want to throw this to you. There's talk that the big committee's now been put together to knock down Old Trafford and build a new stadium. I've been tagged in by some Man United fans today that are saying they want a petition so that it doesn't happen. What's your take on it as a Red? Do you think we should replace Old Trafford?
I think it's one of those things where you're never going to get everybody on side. There's so many fans. If it was City, it'd be easy because there's only two people to decide. But for United, with much more fans than that, with it's one of those more difficult things. You're going to get those people who've grown up with their parents, their grandparents, who've been right through the club as it in its former current glory, sort of thing. So I think what you've got to do, you see like the Spurs Stadium, you see Wembley. You see what Real Madrid's done, and you think if we are one of the biggest clubs in the world, I'm not saying in terms of on the pitch at the moment, but in terms of actual history and what money value, you've got to show that. And like I know Ronaldo said it about the fact that nothing's changed since he left, sort of thing. And you've got to move with the times. So I don't think you can take it to almost to ground zero and then just build it back up and make something modern off the back of it. When you look at what Real Madrid's done, they've done all the ground, the surface, they've got it all so the pitch buries underneath, keeps it fresh, or all this ultraviolet light and everything. They've got the best of the best sort of thing. And if you want to keep up with that, unfortunately, you may have to make that decision to knock it down and start again. Myself, I've been to Old Trafford many times, and it's just an amazing atmosphere. And I know that. Sorry, I don't know your name yet in the corner with Arsenal fan sort of thing. When they knocked Highbury down, it wasn't a lot of Arsenal fans at the time said it's just not the same sort of thing. But obviously, Emirates became your new stadium. There was a lot of nobody wanted that to happen, but it did. And look at you now. Nobody's talking about how bad the fact that you're in a new stadium now. It's like, look at what we're doing on the pitch. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a bit of that, really.
Yeah. LB, you're obviously from Manchester, and I know you don't like Manchester United, but I'm sure deep down inside there is an element of respect because they're such an integral part of your city. There are a lot of local-based people that think it's wrong to knock down Old Trafford and build upon the same ground or build on the same site. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, they've not maintained the stadium. You know what I mean? It's constantly leaking. You know what I mean? It's like I say, they've not spent the money to maintain the stadium, and now is it in a state of disrepair because of the way that it is? I mean, United fans get mocked on this all the time about the stadium. You know what I mean? All the leaks coming down, and it's not a joke. It's legit.
Yeah,
it's
real.
not even a leak. It's like the gods open up above you, and you see all the water falling down, man. It's absolutely crazy. So I don't know. Obviously, that's a decision for the United fans, but I don't know what they're going to do. But they certainly shouldn't be getting like money off the government. Like this Jim Ratcliffe guy wants to get some benefits.
Why?
I mean,
Why not?
Terry, everything that's going on in the world, this guy wants to put his hand in the taxpayer's pocket and get some money off him to help Liverpool Stadium. This guy's a billionaire, man. Glazers are billionaires.
That's quite normal.
Hang on a minute. Can you remind me how Man City got their stadium?
Ours was a lease.
But you've been given to you dirt cheap by the government, right?
It's a lease. It's a lease, and City have put a lot of money into that area and helped upgrade the stadium. It's not been given to us. But
so are Man United. So again, if you actually read the reports on it, some funds will be raised through the government, but it's about a whole region. It's because it's for a complete regeneration of the area. It isn't just for the stadium. It's going to be the stadium. It's going to be the infrastructure, homes, businesses. They're going to invest money in the entire area, and they want to make it a hub where it won't just be football matches for Man United that are held there. There will be concerts. There will be all sorts of different types of things going on. And it's a place that's going to employ lots and lots of people on a more regular basis. So it's going to create jobs for the local area. That, for me, is something that is an amazing thing to do, surely.
Well, the guy can put his hand in his back pocket then and pay for it himself, can't he? It's not a controversial take. You know what I mean? These are billionaire owners. Do you know what I mean? Who can put their hand in the pocket. What's the problem? They
haven't got the unlimited funds that City have got. I think that's quite clear.
Jim Ratcliffe, a billionaire. Yeah, billionaire.
Do you not think that City have got? No, yeah, but the Glazers aren't. We know the story, the history of the Glazers. When no one's behind them whatsoever. Sir Jim is hopefully to be our saviour. But at the end of the day, how much? If you own 25% or something, how much do you put into it yourself?
It's not my problem, mate. To be honest with you, that's not my problem.
Exactly.
He should have known this before he took over. Before he bought 25% of the.
I think the government puts this money aside for such projects as this. Literally, what the money's there for.
Is the money there? Is the taxpayer money there?
By the way, all the regeneration isn't just going to. So Man United, when it all gets regenerated, it's not. Say they build loads of flats. Man United are not going to own the flats and take rent. That will be. Some of it will be private, some of it will be government. The other businesses that open up around there won't be owned by Man United. All the people getting employed won't be employed by Man United. This is going to create jobs and industry and income for the government and other local businesses aside from... By the way, if we were regenerating the whole area and we were going to own everything and Man United were going to make all the money from it, then I would agree with you. But we're not. It's going to help generate money. More money will be made for the country through doing it than spending to make it. I don't understand. If I said to you now, give me 100 quid, and in 3 years, in 6 weeks, I'll give you 500 back. That's amazing, right? I don't get what the issue is.
Well, I think I'm talking about the stadium. I'm not talking about the area. That's obviously up for. That's what the local council wants to do. I'm just saying they shouldn't be putting the money on the stadium. That should be down to the football club. But
it's for the. But again, this is what happens when the media twist what's being said. When you read the full articles, it's the whole committee's being put together with the likes of Lord Cohen and the like, because it isn't just about the stadium. It's about a complete regeneration. But of course, the gutter press will turn around and go, Man United taking money off the poor taxpayer to build its stadium. It's just a fabrication.
I think the thought of myself, a Liverpool fan who despises United, who's probably the only thing I hate about Terry is the fact that he's a United fan, helping fund their stadium. A Liverpool fan help fund a United stadium. It's just I can't deal with it. I actually can't deal with it. That blows my mind. I can't.
What Liverpool fan?
Me.
Oh, right, because taxpayer. Right. Yeah, but it's going to be from council tax money, so it's only if you live in Manchester.
Oh.
So where did West Ham come from? Where did West Ham Stadium come from?
The government.
Government.
Yeah, but that was the
But that was for a
Olympic
whole
Stadium.
different thing. That was for the Olympics.
Yeah, and none of you paid
Was
for
it?
that, but I did because my borough, my council tax doubled for
Hey,
that.
that's not my problem. Hey, my problem.
But it's similar principle, isn't it? It's just showing that United
But
aren't
this is
the
the
first
point
team
I would
to do
say.
it.
We all got more council tax than the country paid for the Olympics. But what it did, it raised the value of my property there, which I sold, and it generated that. People open businesses. Stratford's a thriving area because of the money that was invested due to the Olympics. So it will make far more money than it costs the government. What I would say about changing the stadium is this, though. A lot of United fans, if we knock down all four sides and rebuild it, it won't look the same because this is what Old Trafford used to look like. It doesn't look like that anymore either, does it? So the point is, I don't understand this notion of we don't want a new stadium. If we knock down the current stadium and we make it and we modernize it, it's not going to look the same anyway. It's going to be completely and utterly different. It makes absolutely no odds whether it's built directly on top or if it's literally like it's still going to be in the same vicinity. I just don't understand why Man United fans are taking something so positive and turning it into a negative. It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Quick question to Kate. You know the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is not at the same place White Hart Lane is.
No.
It's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, they did use £27 million of government money, but that was for the area. They didn't use it for the actual stadium. They used it for the regeneration of the area. But if you're going to move up a level, I know people say, oh, it's Tottenham, they still don't win nothing, which is quite true. But what I'm saying is, as Man United, if you want to be up there, you've got to have a new stadium. You can't be in a stadium that's falling to bits. I mean, it's embarrassing.
No, I agree. But it is built upon the site of the old stadium, is it not?
Yeah, but they moved it a little bit.
It's further along because where White Hart Lane used to be, I believe, is flats now.
Yeah, but it's only moved by about 30, 40 meters, right?
Yeah.
It's the same place. It's in the same place, isn't it? Like, if you put the old postcode in, you'll find the stadium. It is weird though, your stadium, when you go to Tottenham, because Tottenham's not had much like rejuvenation. It looks like a spaceship has landed. It's crazy. It's just it looks so out of place to the rest of the area. It's crazy.
Can I say one thing quickly? Why are we acting like this is not going to benefit the area of Manchester? Like, it is a tourist attraction. A lot of people make money from tourist attractions in Manchester, hotels, taxis. The local people will make that money back in the amount of investment that they get from that team. The fact that they have a team that in that city that's so successful and so historic, it booms the economy in that area. So I don't think, LB, you should be looking at it from the perspective of, oh, it's taxpayer money. You should be looking at it as it's a government investment to further develop that area.
No, I get what you're saying. But when the guy's a billionaire, United are generating £700 million a year in revenue. You've got the Glazers. You've got this Jim Ratcliffe guy. That's where I'm kind of like, why don't you put your own money in?
1 second. Billionaires don't always spend their own money. A lot of times they subsidize and they find other ways to get money to benefit to not only benefit them but to benefit the region. So this is no different than a billionaire tycoon that's building a bunch of government housing. He's using government money also. It's just not.
This isn't because I don't know the answer to this, LB. So your owner Sheikh Mansour has put his own money into like into rebuilding Manchester. He's spent money building Manchester up, is he? Genuine question.
Well, that whole area, is obviously the academy, the stadium is built on. No,
but like in terms of like things that are not owned by City, he's spent that building that up, has he?
I don't know what exactly you mean by that.
Well, what I mean is that Sir Jim is not meant to, the elements of the rejuvenation that are not going to be owned by Man United, Sir Jim shouldn't be paying for. The same as your owner.
No, that's what I said. Sorry, when I'm talking about this, please understand, I'm talking about the stadium itself.
Yeah, but it's just
not
like
talking about the region.
No, okay, but it's just like what Kate said. If you read certain articles, £27 million was given to Spurs to help build their new stadium, but it wasn't directly spent on building the stadium. It was for the local area. It just depends on how people want to twist it to make the story sound bad.
That's what I'm saying, though. If it's for the local area, I ain't got a problem with it, obviously. But the actual stadium itself, the bricks and mortar of the stadium. Yeah, well, I think that should be by the club or the owners.
It depends on what they do with it. So I'll give you an example. If it's used for other sporting events, but Manchester earns money out of it, for instance, United don't get all the revenue, then it makes sense for them to kind of pay for it as well. Like, I think that's what I agree. If the government builds us a new stadium and it leads to an extra 100 million of income a year and we keep it all, that don't feel right to me, because that's just the club keeping all of it. But if it's generating money for Manchester, for the local people, for businesses, then I think, we'll see. I'm sure more is going to come out. Obviously, a big match this weekend, Phil. We take on Everton. How do you see it going?
I think at the end of the day, when you look at Everton's recent results, they've not won in the last 5 games, the last 5 Premier League games, and they've not failed to. The last time they didn't concede a goal was the 30th of January, something like that. So I think, we've in that time they've scored 5 goals, we've scored 14. And I just think that we've just got to beat Everton. There's just no doubt about it. When you look at where we are in the league, we're still fighting now for 5th or 6th even. So you just can't afford to drop it. We've just got to turn out. And I just think at the end of the day, it is a tough game against Everton. It always is. But at the end of the day, United are at home this time, so we're not going to Goodison. So at the end of the day, we should definitely win this game. I'm talking maybe 2-3-0, something like that, because Everton are just struggling to score as well. They've not scored many. We are scoring. We're creating chances. Even though Bruno's stats aren't great, he's still got the most shots on target sort of thing. Rashford's actually got the 2nd most shots on target, believe it or not. Yeah, I know. So I think Bruno's got 20, 22, and Rashford's got 18. So even though Rashford's getting slated, he's just not converting his chances, a bit like Højlund when he first started. So at the end of the day, I'm confident of a United win on this one.
I hope so. Because the last few weeks in the Premier League have been absolutely painful. No, it's been absolutely painful. I'd love to get your views, love to get your opinions on that, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section. But when it comes to match bingo, the game you've got to actually go towards is Manchester United versus Everton. They're giving out free bingo cards on that, as you can see on the screen ahead of you. I've gone and got my free one. I've also bought one myself as well, as you can see, for this game. And how it works is so simple. So simple. You buy the card and it's random what's on it, essentially. And you can see here in the middle, a yellow card has got to be shown in a minute of the game with a 0 on the end of it. There's got to be a goal for Everton scored by their head. There's got to be at least one substitution made by Manchester United. And there's another slide here that shows you what I mentioned, a goal there from Everton that's needed. It's a really fun game to play during the football. Sometimes it makes you scream for corners. Sometimes you're screaming for a free kick. You're begging for a substitution to happen because you need it. They're giving away quite a bit of money on this game this week. I think £270 for the full house. And there's a free card available. So you might as well go and give it a go. It's free of charge to download. You have to be over the age of 18 and in the UK. So go and check out Match Bingo right about now. Kate, what's your manager talking about today?
What do you mean?
Big Ange just come out and said he doesn't care about top 4 qualifying for the Champions League. Basically, he's only going to care, but all he cares about is basically winning it and getting to the top. What's your thoughts on what he said there?
Well, he did say that, but what he means is he doesn't want to achieve something in the first season, because he's exactly right. If you get to Champions League, all it does is give you a year in a competition, which is no good if you're never going to really compete and win it. So he wants us to be sustainable and competing for something every year. That's what he's saying. He said it all along when people have asked him, about finishing top 4. He's always said, well, I'm not interested in that. We can still win the league, even though I thought he was bonkers. His philosophy is, if you don't come first or win something, it's a wasted season. And I respect that to an extent, but deep down, I'm sure he is hoping and praying we get top 4, and Levy is putting pressure on him to get top 4, because we all know Daniel Levy wants the money. So it's just how Ange talks. This is what he does. He knows what to say to kind of G the fans up. He's not saying I don't want top 4. He's basically just saying, what's the point of being in the Champions League if you're never going to compete in it? You're just getting a year in a competition, which I don't think it's not false, is it? I mean, if we get in the Champions League next year, yeah, it's great for the club, but do I think we've got any chance of winning it? Not in a million years, no. So I'd rather be trying to build a team like he is saying, where we can constantly compete every year for an FA Cup, for this, for that.
But is it not easier to build a team with Champions League football and the money that comes with it?
Yes.
Well, some people say yes, some people say no. I don't really know. Because Levy, it doesn't matter if we're in the Champions League or not. He's never going to say, right, we're in the Champions League this year, let's go and spend 80 million on a player. Because Daniel Levy's never going to do that. From a Tottenham perspective, what? Who said what?
He did spend big when Conte got into the Champions League.
Buying whom?
You guys bought a lot. You guys
Richarlison.
spent big. It's not about the fact that you're in the Champions League. You're going to have more money to spend. You're going to be able to attract better players. The reality is your manager is deflecting. He's deflecting.
I don't agree. I don't agree with the fallacy that because we're in the Champions League, we spend more on players. We bought Richarlison, that we bought like 2 big players in our lifetime. Ndombele, that was a disaster. Richarlison, who's been a bit of a disaster. So we don't buy expensive players. So whether we're in the Champions League or not, I don't personally think it will make any difference to how much we spend on a player. And I don't think Ange is deflecting. Why would he deflect? What's the point? What, are you trying to say that he's taking the pressure off himself?
100%. He's taking the pressure off his players and himself. And he's not basically saying, you know what, I think this team can do it. He's doing what most managers would do, is basically try to avoid that pressure. And
that's a good thing, Egal.
I don't blame him. I think it's a good thing, but let's call it as it is. It's not like, all of a sudden he's saying, I want to win and I don't want to be in this competition. Because at the end of the season, if let's be real, if you guys don't get top 4 from the position you're in right now, your manager's going to be your manager's going to look at himself and he's going to say, you know what, where did we go wrong? Something went wrong here. He's not going to say, it's our first season, we weren't expected to be here. Because when you're in the mix, you have to get it. And if you don't get it, you're going to look at yourself and you're going to say, you know what, where can we go and improve from here? Because we have the capabilities of doing better.
I agree.
think that's a good thing.
But at the start of the season, we lost our best player to ever put a Tottenham shirt on, and no one expected us to even be close to getting top 4. I personally would rather be in, and I'm not saying this to deflect, not at all, but we've got more chance of competing seriously in the Europa League than we have in the Champions League. So where we finish, whether it be Champions League, Europa League, makes no difference to me. That's the honest truth. I don't care. Because we're never going to win the Champions League, but it's elite and we get more money.
Well,
but the Europa League
is at the lowest standard it's ever been, Kate.
Yeah, but we're still not at that standard, LB.
Yeah, but on a one-off game, you beat us every year, and on a one-off game, you couldn't beat anyone.
In a one-off game, but it's 2 legs.
Yeah, but Bayern are poor. Like, PSG are beatable. Barcelona are awful.
That's this year. Do you really think next year all these teams are going to be as bad as they are now?
It's really not been at a good quality standard for a few years, though, to be honest.
Wow.
LB, what are you saying? They should be competing for the Champions League every year?
What I'm saying is, like, Spurs could easily get to a semi-final without everyone going, whoa, how they got to a semi-final.
Okay, but that's not what they want. They're basically saying they're basically saying if we're in the competition and we're just participating, they're not happy. And I think
that's crazy logic. Sorry, I got to cut in. That's crazy logic. Unless I know I can definitely win it, I don't want to be in it.
It's crazy.
No, that's not it.
To win it.
But that's what it sounds like, because you're never going to build a team with the experience and the know-how to be able to. If City, when they first started in the Champions League, it took them a long time to get good at it. It took them a long time to navigate Europe and start getting through to quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals. You need to be in it. I get your point that you want to see investment, but in the summer, if you went out and bought 4 or 5 players who are as successful as a lot of your new signings this year, there is a chance that in a cup competition, and LB said it right, it's one of the lowest standards the Champions League has ever been. City are as good as any Champions League team that's ever been, in my humble opinion. Real Madrid, still very good. After that, for one reason or another, if you go back to like the noughties and the 90s, those teams wouldn't even get out the group stages. Arsenal would probably, because Arsenal are a very good team at the minute. So if you guys go and improve in the summer, I think he's doing it for the right reasons, Big Ange. I think he's deflecting so that if you don't make it, it's not turned into you missed out on something that was really important for you. And I think it's a good thing what he's doing, but I just don't believe him personally.
But it's also
you want to be in the biggest, the most prestigious cup competition in the world as a manager, surely.
Yeah, I get that.
But also, Terry, as a team,
I would much rather be. I would just let me say this bit. I'd much rather be in a competition such as Europa League, where we have a realistic chance of winning it. no one realistically thinks Tottenham could win the Champions League next year.
No, okay,
I
that's a
disagree.
wrong mentality, mate.
No, I completely
I agree.
disagree.
That's what mentality.
I think that's a
Spurs
wrong
won.
mentality.
Yeah,
wrong
but do you know what? This might be sad and this might be true, but really sad and tragic. But that's how I feel, because we've gone so long without winning something. I want to be in with a chance of winning. Have we got a chance of winning the Champions League? Not for me, no. Next year after, maybe.
But that's not how you make a winning team, Kate. But that's not how you make a winning team. You want to go into every game wanting to win games. Sorry,
what were you going to say, Phil? Sorry.
I was just going to say, at the end of the day, Kate, if you get in the Champions League and you don't, and you don't get into the top two, you drop into the Europa League. So you still got the chance of winning it in that. So you've got to aim for the highest. And what you don't want to, it was almost embarrassing when they created this Europa Conference League, because that was just like, oh yeah, and we'll give them that as well, something else. It's getting a bit embarrassing. But at the end of the day, you start in the Champions League, you fight for the best you can, and then if you drop into the Europa, then you go for that. It's simple as that. So at least that way, you've got the right mentality, going for the best of the best, competing against the best, learning against the biggest, playing against the biggest teams. And then you've got the better chance in the Europa, and that's got to be your mentality. It can't be, we'll just take the Europa as a. I mean, if we get in the Europa this year, United, I'll be happier that we're not in nothing, but I'll be gutted that we didn't make the Champions League. It's a little bit embarrassing.
It feels like 10,000 years ago that Tottenham made a Champions League final, and I look at the team now, and on paper, they're probably not far off, because some of the team that we had at the time was awful, but. It just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just Spursy out. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just used to not winning.
I understand where you're coming from, but the thing is, it's about. Lee Gunner always says this when we used to do straight facts. He used to say, "Well, I don't care about getting in the Champions League because we're not going to try and win it." And I understand that to a degree, because if you think, well, we've got in the Champions League, we haven't gone out and signed the best players in the world. It's because it's hard to. It's hard to, because there are many, many other clubs that are bigger than you that can attract those players, and maybe not everybody wants to come and play for you. But I understand you've got to keep the standards high, in the sense of you should be in the Champions League and foul, but push for the team to get to Champions League winning level, as opposed to saying, you know what, I'd rather be in the lower down competition and accept that standard where we're at. As fans, you've got to push your club through that barrier, and it might take 50 years of pushing, but you've got to do it. Otherwise, you're just going to roll over and have your bellies tickled by Daniel Levy. Speaking of that, you sent me saying, LB, Eric Dier here praising Daniel Levy. You seen it, Kate?
No, I have not.
He's called you out.
He has.
Me personally.
Yeah, Eric Dier from Munich has called Kate out.
I'll read this to you. This is crazy, right? So he said here, this is Eric Dier on Daniel Levy. He says, I just find it funny. When I went to the Tottenham Stadium and see Levy Out, I'm thinking this guy over the last 10 years has built the best infrastructure in football, best training ground, best stadium, and a team during all that time that stayed relatively competitive, reaching the Champions League final in 2019. You never hear Spurs in any of these FFP conversations. It's baffling to me that a Spurs fan could ever be upset with someone who looks after a club in that way.
Yeah, I get that. I'm not a Levy outer, so I get it, because Levy's done wonders for this club. But I'm not Levy out, but I'm also not Levy, like, I don't love Levy. I would rather Levy stayed on the business side, because that's what he's good at, and let someone else run the
love him or Levy him.
Yeah, I could love him or leave him. So I get what Dier's saying. We're in a fantastic position. But the success isn't there, and that's what football's supposed to all be about. It isn't just about the business, but as a business itself, he has made Tottenham a brand. He's made the stadium. I think it's the number 3 or number 2 tourist attraction in the whole of the UK, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But really? That's not what we're about.
I saw your valuation today. You've got more income than Arsenal now, and you've got a bigger valuation than Arsenal. So from a financial and commercial standpoint,
and Chelsea.
Spurs are now bigger than Arsenal. I mean, that's considering you don't win anything, that's amazing.
Are you not going to mention Chelsea? Are you not going to mention all the other teams?
No, I'm mentioning Arsenal because up until this point, you were the most valuable, so they've overtaken you.
But it means nothing.
Yes, I know, But you got to understand this. Okay, yeah, you're number one. In London. They've overtaken you. That's why I mentioned you. And they're your biggest rival.
Yeah. Listen, Beyonce concerts at NFL games are going to do wonders for any team. Let's be honest. That extra revenue is amazing. So I'm not going to put it down to their success on the pitch. It's all down to that stadium and the ability to attract good concerts, good everything else, and the best facilities.
Don't forget good marketing as well.
Yeah,
the guys marketing
that stadium
really well.
That stadium is doing wonders for them financially. But let's see what it does on the pitch, because clearly,
exactly.
That is salt. That is pure salt.
No,
right there.
that's not salt. One second. There's no salt put in. That's the actual truth. If you guys want the truth, you can have all the NFL players showing up every year. You can have all the concerts that you need, everything you want. Actually be 6th in world revenue, but still, if it leads to no success on the pitch,
what is right. It? Egal's right.
Egal's right, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Levy. We're not talking about success on the pitch.
Exactly.
No, we are. Levy, we are talking about success on the pitch, because I think what Levy's done off the pitch is amazing. And I remember a time when United fans, you remember this, Phil, we used to, why are we announcing a noodle deal? I want us to be financially successful, because if you're run well and you've got a lot of finances, you should produce trophies. To earn what Spurs earn, and by the way, when it comes to spending money on transfers, I think Spurs coming 4th in the all-time money spent in Premier League history, and they have nothing to show for it. I remember, I haven't seen the stats in a while. Obviously, Chelsea and City come first, second, Man United third. I do think it's then. I think it might be Liverpool now, but they're in the top 5 anyway.
They're up there anyway. Yeah,
they're right up there. They do this myth that Spurs don't spend money is absolutely crazy. Their revenue's past 700 million. Their wage, they pay in wages. I was looking at this the other day when I did my whole wage thing, which people disputed. But my source for the wages, by the way, the sources for the wage bill comes directly from the club's account, so I know they're 100% right. Spurs here, right? Where you at on this list? Number 8 here. So your turnover last time you put it through, your wages aren't too bad. So 633 million you turn over, 46% of your turnover is spent on salaries. You're still talking over 300 million on salaries, which is, when you compare it to Arsenal, who Arsenal's is like 280 million. So you're spending 20 to 30 million more on wages than Arsenal do. So whenever I hear this nonsense that we're little Spurs and we don't spend anything, yes, you do. You just don't spend it wisely enough. And that element of Levy must be criticised. You know, Spurs financially have the 7th biggest income in world football. They earn more than Liverpool. They earn more than Chelsea, Arsenal, Juve, Dortmund, Inter Milan, Atletico, all of them. And the only teams that are above you are Bayern Munich, Man United, Barcelona, PSG, City, and Real Madrid. So what he's done financially is amazing. But Egal is bang on. He has to be criticised for the lack of actual success, because the money is meant to help you generate the success. And that's why Man United fans are so angry. You always get idiots that go, but you spend loads of money. We know we do. And that's why we're angry. They waste it.
That's what I was going to say, Terry. The whole... You know, we're the richest club in London. We're the FFP kings, all this cobblers. It means nothing to actual fans because you don't get a trophy for it. We want the success on the pitch. But my point was, I think Levy should be involved with Spurs 1,000,000% because of what he does, but only on the business side. We need somebody in charge of the footballing side that knows football, and Levy needs to step away from that side. That was
you had Peritici, but he got nicked, didn't he?
This is what we said about Edwards.
He's doing a bit of bird, isn't he? Doing a bit of bird.
No, he's at the club working. He's in the background.
I thought he was in prison.
He's still there.
No, he's still there. He's cooking in the background. Frying. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
But when it does work, let's be honest, when Spurs in like 2013, 2014, when they made signings, like decent under the radar signings, it works out great for them. It does. It's just the main issue for me when it comes to, obviously the marketing, everything is sorted. It's just finding those right players and having transfer windows like what you had this season. Not going out and spending like 60, 70 million pounds, but signing 30, 40 million pound players that can do the job and can also get you to winning trophies. That's the way I see it.
Can I just say to Helicopter School, who said their perception of success is dependent on what Arsenal do. If Arsenal finish 6th, Spurs finish 5th, they celebrate it. I think it was Arsenal that made up St Totteringham's Day. I don't think Tottenham have got a day for that. So, go with the history.
One second. Ask Patrick next time, because I'm pretty sure he's mentioned it like 100 times. He even sang a song dedicated to it when you guys got Champions League football. So I don't know. But when it comes to what you were just saying a second ago, when we were talking about Tottenham, I genuinely do believe it's going to come down to if your owners actually care about the bottom line, how much money they make, or if they care about actually getting a team to be competitive to win. Because I don't think you guys are actually looking to be competitive to win. I think you're just looking to be in the pack where you're amongst the top, but you're not actually going above and beyond to get to the top.
So I don't know if that's necessarily true, though. Sorry, Matt. I don't know if that's necessarily true, though, Egal, with Tottenham, because as I just said, 350 million just under they spend on wages, as an example. 272 million spent this summer, just gone. 177 million the year before. 95 in 21-22. 110 the year before that. That's in COVID, 110. 2018, 150 million the year before that. They did have that 1 year where they bought nothing in 2018-19. Before that, 120 million. They spend a lot of money, Tottenham. The problem is
they've got nothing to show for
spending it wisely.
They don't have the right decision makers spending that money, because if they're outspending the vast majority of Europe, but they're not as good as loads of teams in Europe, it's nothing to do with a lack of ambition. It's to do with a lack of application.
There's no consistency. There isn't any consistency because you have incredible windows, but you also have very, very bad windows at the same time. Like you look at, I think it was 2019-20, where you went out and you didn't really back Poch after the Champions League final. You thought, you guys could really cook off.
You barely spent anything, Poch.
3 windows without signing anybody.
Let me just say this quickly. Yeah. I genuinely don't think my point was about how much money they spend, Terry. My point is when there's an opportunity and you have a team that's finishing second in the league, going to a Champions League final, you're not doing enough to kick on. And that doesn't necessarily mean spending financially. It means more than just spending financially.
It's the right decisions. Right? It's making the right decisions. You bang on. No,
Matt,
I totally agree. Yeah, sorry, about you, Matt. Sorry, mate.
So I wanted to ask, the signings that Spurs made this season, would you say they've all hit? Because you signed Udogie, James Maddison, you signed Vicario, Van der Ven, Timo Werner, and Brennan Johnson. Would you say all of them have been hits?
No, not particularly. We also signed Ashley Phillips and Valise, who have gone out on loan. I think Van der Ven's been a revelation. I think Vicario's been excellent. I think Maddison's been excellent. Brennan Johnson, one for the future is what people are saying now. Not good enough is what I'm saying. But and Werner, we haven't signed him. He's just on loan. So, but generally, I thought the window was all right. It wasn't spectacular considering everybody was struggling to. Well, no, I don't agree because so many teams couldn't buy because of FFP. We should have gone out there and made that next step up and got somebody better. But we didn't. You made smart signings. You made incredibly smart signings. Which
the irony in that is, if you had Champions League football, maybe you could have gone after a Kim Min-jae. If you had Champions League football, that's what I mean. If you're a team that's continually getting better, generally speaking, you're more attractive, especially when you're not a legacy club. You're not a Real Madrid, you're not a Bayern Munich, you're not a Liverpool. You don't have that historical legacy. But viewers, let us know what you think below. There's been some breaking news while we've been live, which I think we have to jump into because I think this is seismic and it's bad news for everybody other than Liverpool. There's a super chat that's coming about it. Michael Edwards is close to accepting a role of CEO at Liverpool. If it's accepted, Richard Hughes is on his way to become the Liverpool sporting director. So Michael Edwards, who's been famed really for all the work he did to help build Jurgen Klopp's first great team that won everything, looking like he's going to return to a more senior role at Liverpool. And Ram, with the pending exit of Jurgen Klopp, this must be a very, very good ointment to that.
Everyone's been saying for the last couple of months that we're going to fall off there's so much uncertainty going along. I'm looking at you, Egal. Now, this is news which everyone should be shaking about. This is big because you look at what Liverpool done when Jurgen Klopp first came along. Michael Edwards was in the background helping build this all up, and having him back, that air of stability and the thing that actually made us successful, having a backroom staff that is all feeding each other information about different players. I'm excited. I am really, really excited. The next thing is just getting that manager. But I've looked at Richard Hughes. I wasn't sure about him at first, but when I did some research about him, he's a very good sporting director, because I know for a fact he's very good at reselling players when it comes to Nathan Ake. I think they bought him for about 20 mil and sold him for about 45, 50 mil LB. Am I correct? Am I right?
Yeah, about 40 mil, yeah.
And he's known to sign very, very good young players that actually turn out to be all right. Like I know Milos Kerkez, the left back, the Hungarian left back, is I'm really, really been impressed by. No one's looked at him, and then he's sort of found him and put him into the Bournemouth team. The only thing that wasn't successful was that time when they got relegated, but I think that was during COVID, where Bournemouth were hit really, really bad. So I'm happy, I'm excited, and things are looking up. Things are looking up, not only on the pitch, but also in the background and also the future, because we've got the guy that helped build Liverpool to where we are now back again. So I'm a very, very happy guy.
Yeah, I'm
Do you
just
think Klopp
saying,
would stay?
Michael Edwards has got the bag. He definitely got that bag of absolute.
Of course he did. You make sure you get paid. Gal, you're someone that sort of looked at Liverpool and in recent shows have said with Klopp going, they'll kind of fall off to a certain degree. Who's running the club? Who's going to be making the decisions? Does this change your opinion on the future of Liverpool now?
This gives them a net. When they fall, they now have that net to put of safety, that safety net that they needed, that little bit of security. Because before, what we were worried, what I was saying was what Ram was just saying right now that he's so happy about. I was saying is the thing that you should be worried about, because they had that level of uncertainty. They didn't have that consistency of people that were there, the brain trust that helped them get to the situation that they're currently in, being as good as a team. So with Klopp leaving and having Michael Edwards come back, at least you have some of the brain trust that helped you get to that successful period back in the team that can maybe help you build again. But I don't think it's a situation where we should be fearful right away. It's just you now have that security blanket, that safety net, that little bit more of brain intelligence from the time when you guys were winning. And with that leaving a couple years ago, I thought, you know what, there could be a situation now.
Egal, are you shaking, bro? Are you shaking?
You are shaking. I can sense the tentative voice, bro. I can sense it.
One second.
Your spider sense is tingling right now, bro.
1 second. The reality situation is nobody should be scared for the immediate future. It's just they will be able to rebuild with this guy. I'm not too concerned about them right now, but I can see them rebuilding a lot more successfully with him in-house than having some people that I don't know.
What do you mean by rebuild? They've got a team that's
young.
They're gonna need to replace Klopp. They're going to need to replace Mo Salah potentially, because he might be leaving. And in the case where there's a couple pieces that are still not to that level where they were competing previously.
If they bring in Edwards and then they're going to replace, Klopp will get replaced, and they're probably going to get Alonso that looks amazing as a manager. They may lose Mo Salah, but they're going to get a huge amount of money in for him. And Liverpool have got the pull, the history, the heritage, and the quality to go out there and buy another top forward of some sort. Liverpool don't need, and this is what I've been trying to explain to you for weeks, Egal, because of how they've structured themselves over the past decade, they don't need rebuilds. Rebuilds are only about building the structure initially. Replacing a manager and a couple of players is not a rebuild. That is literally just a refurbishment, if you want to call it that. Every team, even the best in the world, sell 3 or 4 and buy 3 or 4 players every single year. It doesn't make every summer a rebuild. The structure is strong at Liverpool, bruv. They're not going anywhere.
Terry,
they seem to be doing quite well.
Obviously, a lot relies on who leaves after Klopp. But in the case before Michael Edwards was there, if there was a situation where Van Dijk and Salah were to leave, I would not believe that Liverpool would be able to find a good enough replacement without that history.
They're Liverpool football. I think you are as great as Jurgen Klopp is. Jurgen Klopp, I wouldn't call him a footnote. That's disrespectful. He is a chapter in Liverpool's history. but Liverpool are so much more famous, so much more powerful. They're not Jurgen Klopp FC. They are
Egal.
Liverpool.
That's not Terry. That's not what I'm saying.
Egal, we've had
Once
great
again,
players
let
come
me
to
just
our
get
club
my
and
point
leave.
across. Let me get my point across because maybe I'm not articulating myself correctly. I am not saying Liverpool will not find a replacement. I'm not saying Liverpool will never get back to the competitiveness that they could. I'm just saying there was going to be regression, and it is almost nearly impossible to replace a world-class manager, your best ever goal scorer, your best ever defender, if that
there's absolutely no sign that they're losing all these players, barring Mo Salah. You keep throwing in Trent, and the other week you threw Trent in. You're throwing in Van Dijk. Where's this? Where are these
Van Dijk,
stories?
Van Dijk basically opened up the possibility.
No, we didn't. Don't try that. You're trying to twist what he said. He never said it. You know what? People can actually, if you actually read his quotes, he's actually demanding more from the club, being like, "Look, I don't know what's happening. I want to see what happens.
Hey,
I want to see."
all I'm saying is
what Rooney did.
all I'm saying is,
Michael,
Michael, if we give credit to Michael Edwards for finding Mo Salah, for helping build this Liverpool team, and he's coming back, that is a massive benefit to Liverpool, and people should be scared. But the thing is, if Liverpool still lose Mo Salah, Klopp, and some other players, they are still going to have to do a semi-rebuild. I'm not saying they're going to have to break it down and start all over, but when you lose a core of a title-winning side, Terry, we've seen it with Chelsea losing a core. It took them a while to get them back up and running again. We've seen it with Manchester United. You still haven't recovered from it. We've seen it with Arsenal. Still haven't recovered from it. When you have that good of a squad,
there's a fundamental difference. Man United losing Fergie isn't per se what killed us. It's the fact there was no structure. He was the club. There was no solid infrastructure. Same with Arsenal. You were Wenger FC. You were crumbling under him. And when he left, it took you a while to build a structure. You guys have built a structure. If Arteta leaves tomorrow because he's offered the Barcelona job, Arsenal will not, I've got the same energy. You are not going to fall away. As long as you bring in a manager that's almost as good or as good, and you keep buying good players, you'll continue to progress. It's the structure of your club that is key. And Liverpool's structure is strong. Yes, they're not going to have a manager as good as Klopp, but I just don't think there's going to be this regression that you're talking about. They are one of the best teams in Europe right now because they're top of the Premier League. I think that is what it is. They're going to continue to spend money, even when they were an average team in the Premier League and coming outside the Champions League spaces. They were still signing top class players. They're Liverpool, but you add the structure they've got. They're going to be they're not going to be. There will be a few bumps in the road, of course, but they're going to be fine. They're going to be, as long as they get the manager.
I agree.
Can I add Terry?
They're going to be fine in the immediate long term with Michael Edwards there. But in the short term, let's not act like Michael Edwards the fact that he's coming back is such a huge benefit for you guys because he's been able to help build this team up.
I can also switch to you. If you're saying we can't replace Mo Salah,
you can't. Who's going to replace him?
We didn't. Okay, I'll tell you this. We had the same mindset when Fernando Torres left. When we were like, who's going to replace Fernando Torres? Who's going to replace them goals? Then we ended up buying Luis Suarez. And people, let's be honest, no one thought Luis Suarez was going to do what he's going to do when he was at Liverpool. He had the talent.
Market's different now, the market's different. Who's out there that can replace Mo Salah's goals? There was pure strikers back in the day.
You have to recreate. In my opinion, LB, you have to recreate him. You have to recreate him by getting someone else to get the goals.
Go buy Bukayo Saka. The money.
They don't. Terry,
why not? Refrain from using it.
I said this to you live when we were in the studio back in the day. They don't have the facilities for that. I'm telling you right.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They don't have the money and the power to take.
How much money? No, we're gonna get loads of money for Mo Salah.
We're
gonna get £300,000.
The only team I would not be worried about Liverpool or any other team in the league coming in for Bukayo Saka.
What about Musiala? What if we get Musiala?
That's a different story. I'm not talking about Musiala. No, but
if he plays in a Alonso system, the way he plays Hoffman, it works. And if we get Musiala, it will be a big problem. I think it'll be a big problem for everyone.
To me, the guy I would look at is a Xavi Simon. If you were able to get a Xavi Simon, that would be like a young up and coming player that could help replace some of the goals and the creativity. But I don't know about Musiala. I think
I just think Liverpool are going to hit a short term dip. I don't think it's going to be anything dramatic. I just think they go from a team that's challenging for the league to a team that's a top 4 side for a year or two. I don't see how Liverpool fans can tell me that Jurgen Klopp's the best manager they've ever had in the Premier League, and they tell me he's better than Pep. Tell me that some Liverpool fans tell me that Mo Salah's the best player in their club's history. Some say he's not, but some say he's up there. And then say, oh, but everything will be fine and everything will be the same. You can't say that. Just like when Pep will leave Manchester City, I've got to be prepared that my team's not going to win as much. Just like Terry and Phil have to be prepared that when Alex Ferguson left United, there was going to be a dip. You can't sit here and say, oh, but when Salah goes and Klopp goes, it's all going to be okay. I don't think you'll fall off. I just think you'll go from a team that initially is going from you can go from a title challenging side to a top 4 side, and then maybe after a year, 2 years, you'll, with a bit of luck, you might be challenging for the league. But I just don't see how we can sit here really and say there's not going to be any drop. There's got to be a drop.
It just depends on. It depends on.
They don't want to hear
the Mo Salah stuff. It depends on who we sign. If we end up signing people that end up working, then it's a different story. But we don't know. We actually don't know what's going to happen.
But then why
there are so many. I can't live in the fact of if Mo Salah leaves and Klopp leaves, everything's gonna fall apart, as what Egal like to say. My opinion on this: if we end up signing the players that are good enough to play for Liverpool, maybe the first season we won't challenge for the league. We maybe fall short of game week 32, 33, but I still think we'll be there or thereabouts.
Can you acknowledge your club is going through a transition and it's not going to be a smooth one because of how
it's just a turn. I wouldn't say it's a transition. It's just a turn.
I think the thing is, what you've got to remember is Edwards has been there before, so he knows the club. He's not coming into something that he doesn't have a clue about. He knows the structure, he knows the people, he knows how things work, and that makes a big difference to someone who's coming in that role. As much as I can't stand Liverpool because we're from United, we're United. At the end of the day, I can't see them taking a massive drop. It all depends on what happens at United. And I say that because obviously of getting all the change of management at the top and what's going to happen. Are we going to have money to spend, sort of thing? But at the end of the day, it's what United are going to do, what Chelsea's going to do. Chelsea's spent all this money, and it shows that that's not necessarily the way forward because they just like, we'll have him. We'll stop other people spending that money. We'll have him. We did the same with Alexis Sanchez several years ago. We got him because we didn't want City to have him. Simple as that. And City went, go on, then you can have him. And we fell for that one. But at the end of the day, if Liverpool buy sensibly, they've just done without Mo Salah while he's been away at the AFCON. And I don't think they dropped any points during that time. I don't know who they played. I've not got the full history in front of me, sort of thing. But at the end of the day, they're not a team who struggle to. They always just seem to find a way, whether it be the 99th minute in a controversial goal, or I can be watching video printer sometimes and thinking, yes, they've lost this, and suddenly one goal, it's going to be 2 or 3. They just have that belief in them. That's what I was going to say. That was my next question to Ram. Is it Klopp? Is it the players? Because obviously Klopp's been there a while now, so it is going to have some impact. They know about it, so they're starting to prepare for it mentally. So it's not like a shock coming to them. But if Xabi Alonso comes in, he will have his own way of playing, but he's still got. Do you think that's going to make a big? Do you think it's going to be him, and if so, do you think he'll make such a difference to the way that you play?
Honestly, I don't know who's going to come in. I said before I wanted to because the transition between styles will be a lot smoother. But if it is Xabi Alonso, I think the players that we've got already, like your likes of Konate, even the young players like Conor Bradley, obviously Trent there, Szoboszlai, McAllister, they're still young and they're still able to be molded into the way that Xabi Alonso would want to play his football. That's why I'm a little bit more hopeful compared to the likes of Egal, because we've got compare it to United's team back in the day. United's team was aging. Like Ferdinand was around about 32, 33 years old. But we've got
when Fergie left, five players were at the peak as well. I don't mean at the peak in terms of 27 years old. I mean at the end of the career, it was
exactly.
It all went at the same time.
Phil, players in our team are starting to hit their peak.
Yeah, you've got Dans and stuff like that coming through. You've got some of the young. You've got Szoboszlai, who was an absolute amazing signing. They were going to say it was going to be one of the signings of the season. It's not carried on that way, but he hit the ground running. And you've got Diaz who plays left. But you've got options in various positions. You've not just got one player for each position at the moment, and you've got people who can step up when someone else is injured or whatever. But Van Dijk, I think, will be your biggest miss over Salah to me.
Speaking of Liverpool, LB, you go there Sunday. I know we spoke about this a little bit on Straight Facts on Tuesday, but you know we're on the edge. We're on the edge now. It's almost on the eve of the game. How are you feeling about it? Liverpool still with a lot of injuries, with a few players returning. Are you confident of getting the 3 points?
Yeah, I think we're going to win the game. I'm confident going into it. I've got to be. I think we need to win, personally. I know there's obviously a bit of a split in our fan base about what people think. My opinion is I think we need to win the football match. We've only won 2 games against the top 6 this season, both against United. And yeah, so if we don't beat Liverpool, then we've got Arsenal, then we've got Villa. You know what I mean? We're not beat any of them teams this season. So I just don't really see how we can be that confident about winning the league if we can't beat Liverpool, because we probably won't beat Villa and Arsenal. So yeah, but I'm confident. Look, I think we've won 15 out of our last 17 games. There's been signs in a couple of the recent matches, periods of the game, that we're slowly getting back to our best. Kevin's obviously there, Rodri's there, which is big for us. And yeah, listen, I was thinking about it today. I actually think the injury to Trent is actually huge for them. The more I think about it, it's massive, because obviously he can push into that midfield, and we're probably going to have 4 players in that midfield in Kovacic, Rodri, De Bruyne, and probably John Stones will push in. So who's that 4th man that goes in there for Liverpool? It's probably not going to be Gomez, is it? You know what I mean? Not because obviously we would have a winger. You're going to leave our winger free on the wing, or they're going to bring Nunes back in there, but then you sort of lose his threat in behind. I don't know, man. I think we need to win the game. I'm confident. And yeah, I've gone for a 3-1 City win, personally. I think we're going to do it, man.
I like it. I like the confidence of LV, man. I really do. Like, I mean, the last couple of weeks, he's just been a little bit passive, a little bit, it's going to be a difficult game, but I like it.
Has got to him. The documentary's got to him.
Absolutely, man.
All those documentaries, all those reminiscence moments. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. You need to win this game. A lot of pressure is on you.
We both need to win this game, Egal. We both need to win it.
Liverpool too. A lot of pressure is on both teams. And from my perspective, I'm absolutely loving it, because somebody's going to drop points. Something's going to happen. Either way, I'm just watching, sitting back, and I need to just do my job. But from my perspective, I think you 2 teams are going to both cancel each other out on the day. I'm looking at a Liverpool side.
That's what you want.
I think
Egal, are you sure that's not what
hear me out. I think it's going to be City who's going to be very aggressive, and Liverpool's going to do their thing where they try to get you on the counter, and they counter you for majority of the games. 2 different styles. Styles make fights in boxing, but in football, sometimes they cancel each other out. So I think you guys cancel each other out.
How do you see it going, Ram? Because obviously City have been susceptible to counter-attacks recently. And do you think you'll set up in a way? Do you think Klopp will set up in a way to absorb and counter, or do you think you'll be out on the front foot, being aggressive, trying to win the game?
It's difficult. It's difficult because if you look at most games when it comes to Liverpool City, it's always been City dominating because they've just got the technically a lot better players than us, especially when it comes to on the ball football. But the main problem, and Pep has said this all the time, like he always says, Liverpool are a pain in my ass. They're the pain in my ass. And I'm telling you, I think it will be counter-attacking football. And the players that we've got that are available, like your Nunez's, your Diaz's, they want space in behind, especially Nunes. Up against one centre-back, if he can isolate one centre-back and get him on a running race, most times or not, he will win that race. And the one thing that you can't afford Nunes to have is space in behind, because it just causes so many problems when you're in defensive transition. But that's the thing is whether City with a passing ability, with your Kevin De Bruyne's, your Erling Haalands, and players like that, it will be whether they can penetrate us. And my main issue is whether Konate would be fit, because I feel as though when we play Gomez at centre-back, we miss something. We miss something a lot on that left-hand side. And I don't think Trent will play. I think Conor Bradley will play. I don't think Gomez will play right-back either. If it was me, I would rather play Gomez at left-back and invert and allow Conor Bradley to be that touchline wing-back, what he's really good at, going down that right-hand side, whipping in crosses as much as he can. And my main issue is I don't want to see Jarell Quansah play. So we are literally down to Joe Gomez or Quansah, two players that.
Why don't you want to see Quansah? I thought you guys rated him.
We do rate him, but Terry, but it's Man City. It's a title-winning game. You wouldn't want to throw a kid into a title-winning game. You know what I mean? You'd rather want to have players that have been experienced, who played at the big games, who know
Man
what
United
it's like.
have done it. Kiko Makeda. Kiko Makeda did it
Against who, Terry? Though
against a very good Aston Villa team.
Was it at the same level? It wasn't like Liverpool, Chelsea back then, where it was neck
Well,
and
I'm
neck
just
saying,
title
I'm just
rival.
saying.
Who played against PSG in the knockout round when you guys won?
Kids.
Yeah, but there's a difference between PSG in the Champions League and Man City in the Premier League.
Yeah, but you're at home, though. You've lost twice at home to City in 25 years.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't think we're going to. I'm not talking. I don't think we're
Let me
going to lose,
repeat
Terry.
that.
But I think we need to win.
25 years.
Terry, we need to win. I don't want us to draw.
25 years.
Terry, you're missing my point. I don't want us to draw. We've got Arsenal behind us. It's going to be a big problem for us.
Ram, I understand that, but 25 years, brother. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, you lot were going, oh my God, our kids. Oh my God, the kids. Now you're like, fuck them kids. Come on, man.
because we've got a dose of reality and we're playing Manchester City.
Why are you so shook? 25 years.
Terry, I want to win this game. I don't want to draw.
And you've pretty much won it every time for 25 years. Why are you shook?
But not when we're in a title race. The last time we won in a couple of times we're in a title race, we didn't beat them, other than the one we actually won the league. 2018-19, we drew 0-0.
Draw's fine.
21-22 is we drew 2-2. I don't want to draw. I want to win, Terry.
I
want to win this game. I want Arsenal to not get any more points advantage ahead of us. I want us to win.
You're shook.
25 years.
Of course,
I'm going to sort that it now.
Stop saying that.
I think. What do you think, Kate? Like looking at from the outside in as a neutral, how do you see this game going Sunday up? Where is it going to be won and lost in your opinion?
I can't wait for it. I'm more looking forward to that than I am for the Tottenham Villa game for obvious reasons. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. I pray with every part of me that Liverpool beat them. I would say a 2-1 win. I just think Liverpool have got it in their head that they need this title for Klopp, and I want Klopp to have this title. I want him. I like Klopp. I think he brought loads to the Premier League. I'm going to miss Klopp. I detest Arsenal. I don't like City, I hope Liverpool go and win this game. But it's going to be tight. It could, anything could happen. But I shall have everything crossed that Liverpool go and beat them.
I've got a theory. I think Liverpool are going to win. I'll be honest. I think Liverpool are going to nick it 2-1. And my theory, if City don't win this game, they won't win the league. Because if they lose this match, I believe they're going to have to open up and be even more aggressive against Arsenal, and Arsenal will knock them out on the counter and beat them at the Etihad.
So we don't need to
but they're going to come out and attack you because of that. So if they lose this game, Arsenal will beat them at the Emirates, in my opinion, and then they'll find themselves Etihad. Sorry, but then they'll find themselves between 4 and 7 points off of second place and first place. And I just don't see, with 9 games remaining, them having a point swing differential with both clubs. And that's not a dig at City. I think City are absolutely amazing. If they win this game, I think they're going to win the league. I actually think it's going to be a really pivotal
what if it's a draw
game. If it's a draw,
Arsenal win the league.
Arsenal win the league.
I think
that's what I said. City got to win. I think City I agree with LB. I think City have to win. And I think the ramifications of a draw or a defeat, I think Arsenal beat them next week, in a couple of weeks' time, the next game in the Premier League.
And it's the same with us, in my opinion, Cherry. I think if we beat City, I think we go on to win the league, in my opinion. Because I don't know when
a draw's not that bad for Liverpool. You'd be level on points with just goal difference behind. Like
we just don't want.
I think that Arsenal go ahead of us if we draw, because they got
if you draw. And we win
yeah.
against Brentford, I think.
Yeah, but I wouldn't worry about that at this particular stage. It's not that bad. Liverpool are the favourites though to win now. Liverpool are my favourites to win from this point. You're top of the league. You've got the manager leaving effect. You've got a winning mentality. You understand how to win title races. You're ahead of the best team in the world. You play them at home where you've lost twice in 25 years. Liverpool should win the league from this point. Facts.
I think so, but the only thing that derails it is the injuries, Terry, because you
Not an
think about
excuse.
The
what
injuries
even
have been
if we
overblown, bro.
get any
You've got
more
2
injuries,
players
if
out.
we get any
You've got-
more injuries. I think like Nunes and Szoboszlai are back, and Saka,
I agree with LB.
but then Konate, we end up losing Konate midweek. Like it's
Yeah,
just
but
one
that's,
of them.
that's the same with every. That's the same with both of our teams.
So what if City lose Roger
We
and
had
Haaland?
11 injuries. We had 11 injuries. I'm saying if we get any more on top of what we got already, then it's a different story.
Yeah, but but we can also.
But when I see this,
a
a couple of days ago on another stream, you're hopeful that we're gonna get more injuries. Now that you're getting an injury to Konate, you're shaking in your boots, bro.
Because Egal, how many injuries do we have?
25 years,
I know
man.
you have a lot of injuries.
Stop
And you-
saying-
I
I'm
know
not
you
even
have a lot of
talking about
injuries.
City anymore.
Listen, Ram, I get it. You guys are riding your luck. You guys are really playing well. And at this point, you just need to get convinced, continue to just get your results. It doesn't matter how you do it. If it comes off someone's backside to get a goal, you don't care.
Yeah,
but the reality of the situation is, do you think with the injuries that you have and the fact that you're in a 3-horse race and you have 2 other teams that are playing better football than you, do you think you can actually get this league title? Heart of hearts, we'll keep it real. Because to me, it seems like you're almost saying if we don't beat City, the league's done.
I think so. I think if we don't beat City, I honestly think it's done. Because I think honest. What do you mean honest?
Even if you draw,
honestly, I think even if we draw, because
that's
what?
wild, bro. You'd be like, so just to clarify, you would be level on points with Arsenal. If Arsenal beat Brentford and you draw,
they'll
you'd
be
be
ahead
level
of
on
us,
points
though, no?
on goal difference with 10 games
But
to
that
go.
means we would have to open ourselves up and you've seen how when we open ourselves up massively, we end up conceding a load of chances. One thing I didn't mention, if we play like we did against Sparta, against City, we are going to get packed. We will get packed. It will be a drubbing.
Bro, they're only 6 ahead of you. 6
Ram.
goals. You play Sheffield United at home.
That's true.
To be so
Ram,
defeatist is wild, man.
Yeah, it's weird, like underdog type
I need a win.
Spursy mentality you've got here, mate. It's kind of strange.
I need that cushion, Terry. I need that cushion.
But Ram has no chest. His nickname for many years on the terrace was Two Backer because he's got no chest.
Terry, I still think we're going to win.
Two Backer.
Terry, I still think we're going to win this game.
I can't do the noise.
Terry, I still think we're going to win this game. Terry, I still think we're going to win this game. When did I ever say we're not going to win?
Well, if Kwanzi or Kwanzaa plays, Quasimodo, whatever his name is, if he plays, you're done, aren't you?
No, I think Gomez will play.
But that's not what I said. If he does play, if he's in the starting lineup, you're going to cry.
I won't cry, Terry. We're just going to hope for the best.
You seem very...
Hope for the best and prepare for the worst. That's it.
Have you got an update on Konate? That's what I want to know.
Gal, I don't know. Klopp is a serial liar. I don't trust him when it comes to injuries. He said Thiago will be back 7 months ago. Look what's happened now.
No, he was back. He just got injured again. Score predictions for the game. What are you going with, Kate? What are you going with?
I am going with Liverpool 2, Manchester City 1.
Ooh, Egal.
2-2 draw.
Man like Matt.
My heart's telling me 1-1, but my brain's telling me 2-1 Man City.
Ooh.
What are you going with, Phil?
I'm fancying a 4-4 draw. Toe to toe, smashing it out.
Egal thriller.
I hope so.
I'd love that. I think City and Liverpool did it twice, 2 seasons ago, something like that, and they just went toe to toe. And it's like, is it one of those moments again where it's like, so everybody just said it. Each team believes that they've got to win it. I know LB said, have a bit more faith, sort of thing. But generally, if both teams need it that much, is it like toe for toe? Because both teams come out, come out the tracks from the first whistle. I don't remember seeing a game where they were just kind of sat back, see what happens. So toe to toe, whoever gets that first blow, I think it'd be 2-2 by half time. It's one of them, I think. I'd love to see that.
No, I'd love to see a higher scoring game too. What are you going with, LB?
3-1. Mohamed
you
Salah
said already?
Yeah,
3-1.
Salah will definitely score. His record against us is disgusting. And Kevin De Bruyne to get involved. He's got a decent record as well. But yeah, I'm confident. I've got to be confident. I got back my team because if we lose, I think listen, there's probably like less than a 10% chance we can win the league if we lose. So I've back in my team. I'm genuinely confident, and it's a difficult.
Less than 10% chance. You'll
If we
probably
lose
still
the game-
have a higher percent chance of winning
Yeah, like
the
30%.
league than Arsenal.
No. Wait a second. We'd be 4
We've got
points
4
behind.
points.
There'd be 10 games left. We'd be 4 points behind. We've got a massively inferior goal difference to both of you sides, and we play Arsenal and Aston Villa in our next 2 games. We won 2 games against.
You
the
play
top 6.
Arsenal at home though.
We played Liverpool at home. We played Spurs at home. We played Chelsea at home. We lost. We didn't win any of them. You can't. This is the thing. You can't just say, "Oh, don't worry if you get beat off Liverpool," because you'll beat Arsenal and you'll beat Villa at home. Well, why did we beat Chelsea at home? Why didn't we beat Liverpool at home? Why didn't we beat Spurs at home? Like we're not beating the top 6 teams. You can't all of a sudden just say, "Oh, don't worry about Arsenal." The informed team in the division. We'll batter them. No worries.
And I mean, if you respect the City, and I'm glad that there's a City fan actually admitting it, this notion of, well, because they've won it all before, they're just going to do it again. Football doesn't work as simplistically as times. It's a different, and without due respect, it's the first time City have ever been in a 3-horse race for a title. It's a different complexity to it, you know, because if suddenly they're in 3rd place, they've got to overtake 2 teams. That's such a different conversation, you know. And if they didn't mess up against Arsenal and Liverpool were to win the following week and it's a 7-point gap, they're just not clawing back 8 points, because it will have to be 8 points because of the goal difference in 9 games. I just don't think they can do it, because Liverpool and Arsenal are too good as well. So like, the next couple of games for City could literally determine whether they win the league or not. It's going to be amazing to watch. Ram, what's your score prediction, brother?
1-0. 1-0 Liverpool. Smash and grab.
Just don't let it be Salah, man.
I don't think it'll be Salah. I think it might be worse. I think it might be Nunez.
Why is that worse?
I don't know if that's worse. Is that worse? Why is that worse?
I thought because people like to banter him, it'll be worse for you because.
Nah, Salah dunks on us every
That
single
was,
time.
That was so last year. Nobody benches Nunez no more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's
I
good.
don't think so. George here says Liverpool don't know how to win title races. The year they won it, it was a single horse race. Any other time they were in a race with City, they failed. Stop the false narrative. Paul are going to get beat 3-0 by City is what Gunnar George says here.
Let me tell you something. What about everything comes in threes? It took us 3 times to win the League Cup. It took us 3 times to win for Klopp to win a Champions League. Maybe 3rd time's a charm when it comes to Liverpool, man. And apparently we pay refs according to Arsenal fans. So, yeah.
Liverpool fans on the terrace, shaftless. Oh, is he saying you've got no penis?
Hey, hell.
Well, I assume that's what he means. A shaft is. He says you don't have one. He says you got a man bun down there. I don't know. Liverpool fans have PTSD from losing to City. I can imagine that. All this talk is predicted on everyone winning all their games after this weekend. There is so much more time left. I don't think this weekend is as pivotal as we are making out. Let's see game week 33.
I agree, because you've got Liverpool have still got United, Spurs and Villa. City's got Arsenal, Villa and Spurs. And then Arsenal's got City, Villa, Spurs, United. And Villa's got City, Arsenal and Liverpool. So there's still a lot of 6-pointers in there, and there's much more bigger weekends to come as well. This is a big weekend, but I don't think it's the deciding weekend.
Man, Kate, you've got a lot of games, man, just to decide this time. You actually decided this title race for us.
Spurs have got Newcastle, City, Arsenal and Liverpool.
Damn.
Jeez, that's big.
If City take 12 points to win the league.
A lot of pressure on Spurs, man.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Kate, have I ever told you how nice your eyes are? Come on, like.
I've never been called Rod Stewart before. I've been called a lot of things.
Kate, I've always rated Heung-min Son. I think he's been a terrific player.
Rod Stewart,
I don't know why you guys are buttering them up. Knowing Tottenham, they're going to bottle it, and then they're going to lose to us.
I think they'll beat you lot.
Knowing Tottenham, they're going to bottle it.
Oh my God, Egal, your team are the biggest bottlers ever. You were top of the league for 93% of the season last year and bottled it at the end. So don't even go there, waffler.
Yeah,
do not even go there.
Yeah,
I don't know how you can banter somebody for being in a title race when you've not even been in one. So
I think you'll find we have.
I think they'll beat
you. Banter you with it because you won as much as we did that year. Nothing.
Hey,
there you go.
If we go down trophy lane, or if you go down no trophy lane, I don't think
you didn't even know where your ground was. So don't start trying to tell me where North Trophy Lane is. But on that note, I have to go. He didn't know where his ground was. Do you remember? Something Grove. Ash
Oh
Grove.
yeah, did you know what Ashburton Grove
Yeah,
was?
I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
where
yeah.
I don't know how many people know the. I don't know how many people know what the ground was called.
Fans, that's who know it.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows the name of the road their ground's on.
Terry,
Exactly.
let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Let's not do
Anyways,
what? Tell the truth.
let's not go back there. It's not. It doesn't need to go there.
Right, I've got
Kate,
to go.
you have yourself a good weekend.
See you,
Hopefully,
Yeah,
Kate.
you too.
There you go, okay.
See you later.
Anyways, I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's okay. Kate's not here. Never mind.
Arsenal fan, I need City and Liverpool to be IKEA employee of the month, selling draws so Arsenal can take top spot.
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't quite get it.
Hey, Gal, what are you doing?
Something to do with drawing.
I get what he's on about. He's IKEA. They sell furniture and
It's
drawers
the
and that.
furniture. They need to get drawers. We need to get
Yeah.
drawers.
He's just trying to be creative.
I get it. I know, I did get it. Yeah, but I'm still hungover, man. Got headache, chest ache. I'm in bits. The indigestion I've got right now is crazy. Like my chest honestly feels like I'm being sat on by an elephant. It's crazy. Keep dreaming of Salah leaving and to Egal Foden better than Saka.
That's your opinion. Fair enough.
It's fact, isn't it, LP? It's fact.
Wouldn't it be typical of Spurs to beat Liverpool and Arsenal? Yeah, it would be. It'd be great for the title race, which whatever
It would
happens.
Hey, don't forget City, man. Don't forget City.
It would actually be more funny if Liverpool draw to them because they usually draw to them, City lose to them because they usually lose to them, and we beat them because we beat them last year.
No, but they usually don't get points from White Hart Lane.
Yeah, but we beat them last year, so history can repeat itself.
And they smacked you the season before then.
Yeah, but that was a different situation.
Yeah, we had man like
No, it
Rob
wasn't.
Holden.
This
No, it
this is
wasn't.
before you start the show, Terry. I want to say R.I.P. to. I'm going to butcher the name. What's the
Akira
guy?
Toriyama.
A man inspired a generation and helped so many during childhood. Creativity will never be matched. Is he the guy that sort of did the anime
Dragon
stuff?
Ball
in
Z,
Dragon Ball
Dragon
Z?
Ball Z.
I see that. Yeah.
Legendary. Honestly,
Yeah.
RIP, man. That man, I think, goes down as the biggest pop culture loss since Stan Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen his name trending loads today. And I don't follow that genre of entertainment, but obviously a lot of people do. Millions of billions of people probably do. So yeah, RIP, very sad news for him. Liverpool will dip, not disappear. We, Man United, are already halfway in our dip. I wouldn't call it Man United.
Another decade, yeah.
What the hell?
What, 2034? Is that what we're doing?
You can't call it a dip.
Egal said Chelsea would struggle, whilst the rest of you said genius Ted B. True, we did, but I do think the scenarios are different. But I hear you on that. Egal got that spot on. Evening, Terry. Great to have a level-headed City fan, other than the other two clowns who think they are amazing after the start of the season, are still in the title race.
Who's the other two clowns?
Is he talking about Hamza?
Hamza admitted that he used to support Barcelona the other day. He just outed himself on a stream. So, yeah, he's not a City fan. He just supports whoever the best team is at any one time. That's what, if Hamza goes off socials, you're going to bump into him in 10 years' time and he's going to have a Newcastle shirt on or be back wearing a United kit, especially when City go back down to League One. Because he is not. LB will. When City get relegated to League One, LB will be there, Leyton Orient away, supporting his club. Doing the watch alongs to 3.5 people. He'll be doing it, right? Hamza ain't getting no League One. Hamza's going to loan himself to another club, 100%. Whatever happens on Sunday, it doesn't matter. Arsenal will win in the league for sure. Paul will succumb to injuries, and City are title pretenders, is what Jay's got to say here. Are you confident about tomorrow, Egal, beating Brentford?
Terry, I'm going to the game. We're going to smash them 5-0. Don't worry, bro. It's going to be perfect.
Why?
Listen. I have a perfect record. Don't worry, bro.
Records are meant to be broken, Egal.
Hang on, Egal. I'm not going to let you say that. I'm going to call you out here. Me and KJ had a bet on this, that this would come out one day. And I'm so glad you reminded me. When I talk about the football gods, you say that there's nothing that fans can say or do that impact the team. So how is you going to the game going to help?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I have said that. But I'm saying I'm a I'm saying my words can't affect the performance, but I feel like I'm a good luck charm when I go, even though I don't believe in that stuff. It's just a mental thing.
Yeah, I'm only playing with you, bro. No, listen, I think you will. I think you'll smash them. I think it's gonna be another 4-5-6er. They've got none of their back four are fit. You're scoring for fun. You're at home. You're banging 4 or 5 goals. You got Arsenal genuinely right now are unstoppable.
After Pep Guardiola himself said it. I put it in the chat. The man said Liverpool are winning games in 90 minutes and struggling, where Arsenal are winning games in 25. It just goes to show you like who our real threat is right now. So
this
Liverpool.
This is an easy W for Arsenal. Easy.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be
Liverpool,
5. I think
be
it might be
straightforward,
3, but it's going to be an easy win.
It's emotional also because it might be Ramsdale's last start for Arsenal because Raya can't play in this game. So
how's it emotional?
Why is it emotional?
Because the guy was our keeper last year. He was amazing. People loved him. He was a fan favorite. And then he got his position taken away from him because Arteta brought in Raya. And a large portion of the fan base still like him. As much as you think it's crazy.
Emotional though.
It was definitely emotional for him when he played against West Ham and that game.
Are you gonna cry? Egal, do you think you'll cry?
No. It's not emotional in the sense where I'm going to cry. It's going to be emotional for him.
Is it going to be like another child being born? What level of emotion are we talking here?
No, we're talking about like.
It's not like really leaving.
Is it going to be like when?
It's going to be like a going away party almost.
Okay. I was going to say, is it like when Peggy Mitchell died in EastEnders? Like that kind of say what we.
It's like when you have a coworker you worked with for like 2-3 years, is your mate, and he's going to be leaving. Going somewhere else potentially.
It's only been
no players leave all the time, man. What are you waffling about?
Yeah, and he ain't done nothing for your club, man. What are you doing?
You guys say what you want, but I really do believe this is going to be Ramsdale's last start for Arsenal. Hence why I brought it up.
It's not like Aguero leaving. Origi's leaving was much more emotional than Ramsdale leaving.
After the game, we cannot replace him. We cannot replace him.
Oh, he did.
Listen, guys, I'm not saying it's emotional for everybody. I'm just saying it's emotional for him because the guy doesn't get much game time. He's gonna get to start. He's gonna get. It's gonna be a big game. We need a win.
I'm sure. Not that he don't care. That'd be the wrong way to say it, but. When he gets his paycheck at the end of the week and he goes back to his gorgeous home, he's probably got a lovely looking missus. I bet he's all right. Do you know what I mean? I bet he's all right.
Terry, you remember the game we won 1-0 versus Brentford away? You've seen how the back line was rooting for him every time he stopped the ball. At the end of the game, he was super emotional. You could tell he was almost in tears. That he got the clean sheet. He just stood there, held the ball for a moment. So I know you guys don't like this emotional stuff. You think it's cringe, but the reality of the situation is it might be emotional for him. And I'm thinking from his perspective.
It wasn't because of the game he looks emotional. It's because he spotted his favorite pigeon. That's all it was, bruv. He saw his favorite pigeon. Matt, how do you see the game going, brother?
I think we'll pretty much play the same team that we played against Sheffield United, and I think it will kind of go the same way. But I think that will win 3-0. I don't think it's going to be over 4 goals. I don't think it will, because they've got most of their main attackers like Tony and Wissa. And
LB, they've got a bigger game in midweek.
I just don't see us hitting 4+ against them.
They got a bigger game next week. They got
Porto. Do you want to see a bit of rotate? What do you think they should do, Phil? Should they rotate a few players tomorrow so they're 100% fresh for Porto?
No, I don't think you can. I think at the end of the day, this is their first chance in a long time to actually have a shot at the title. You don't throw that away because you might have a game against Porto in the week. At the end of the day,
rotate.
You've got to go put your best team out, start with your best 11, and hope that they stay fit for the next one. And at the end of the day, they're going in with such a mentality and a strong belief that they can win anything and can absolutely humiliate teams at the moment. Not just screw up a win in the 99th minute that shouldn't have been a goal or anything like that. Just, not getting anything they've at all, Ram, just generally saying. But Arsenal at the moment, they've got this belief they're at the home stadium. Everybody's just on fire. Everyone's scoring. The goals are coming from all over the place. I just think that there's just no way that they're just going to lose this game whatsoever. They might concede one, Tony, because he can score a goal in any game and he's on good form. 3-4-1, something like that.
Momentum is key in this, yeah. Arsenal are winning games sometimes just because they're on this mad run and mad momentum. To risk throwing that momentum away to rest players for Porto is just wild. They have to go super strong. This is why I said last year that I didn't think going out of the Europa League against Sporting Lisbon was a good thing. And Arsenal fans were like, oh no, we can focus on the Premier League now. I don't think that's a good thing, man. I think playing every 3 days and just getting the wins, win, and keep on going, keep that momentum is much better than one game a week. Because you're playing one game a week and you do get a bad result, you're sitting on that bad result for a week. Well, at least if you're playing every 3 days, 2 days, and then you've got another game.
You know what? This is the best way to rest players. Smash 3 past them after 25 minutes and sub them off after 45.
100%.
That's the best way to work it. So that's what we need to do. Because we got players coming back from injury. We got guys like Partey who need minutes. We got guys like Jesus who need minutes. We got Zinchenko who's potentially going to be on the bench soon. Tomiyasu, God knows where he is. Does anybody know? Let me know, because I haven't seen him since he went to the cup. And long story short, if we can put 2-3 goals past them, I expect him to make rotations in the second half, and that's how we're going to rest players going forward.
So no bigger fish to fry.
Bro, the only reason why people were saying that last year is because this whole situation was new to us. Right now, we know better than to say, you know what, get out of a cup competition and do something like that. And personally, for me, I never subscribed to that. I was not one of those people, so don't put me in that category.
Can I just quickly say something, right?
Yeah.
About the rotation. I don't know why it's even a question, because Saka came off at half-time in the Sheffield game. I believe Martinelli came off at around the 60th interval. And like most of the players had about 30 minutes breather. And then obviously after the Brentford game, you've got Porto, and then you've got an international break, which we can then use. Sort of
plus you've been playing, other than the Champions League week, you've been playing one game a week for the vast majority of 2024 as well, because you're out of the, went out of the FA Cup early and weren't in the League Cup anymore. So yeah, I asked a question because I see if anybody thought that you should, but I agree with all of you. You play your strongest team against Brentford, get them killed early, and then
we've just pumped so many teams like 5 goals. We don't need to worry about ridiculous.
Like, I don't know what you think, Phil, watching them as a United fan, as an outsider. Like Arsenal right now, it isn't even just the goals; it's the lack of opportunities they allow teams to have against them. Is crazy. You're on mute, brother.
Yeah, I realise it's just the style of play. It's just they've just got so much belief, and they're just passing the ball around anybody. And as I just said, they're scoring for fun. The back four is looking stronger. I saw a stat today that they've got the most goals as defenders as well. I think it's 11, something like that, in the Premier League this year, which is just a phenomenal record in itself. So literally everybody is scoring on the pitch, and they've just got so much belief in themselves at the moment, and that means so much going into a game. When you see teams at the bottom of the table fighting for every point and stuff like that, it's a different mentality. You're going out there thinking, we're not going to win. But at the end of the day, Arsenal at the moment, they're coming out thinking, we've got this game. They're not afraid of anybody at the moment. It'd be good to see like Arsenal City, something like that at the moment, or Arsenal Liverpool. They're going to be amazing, great games. But against Brentford, I just don't think they're going to have a problem at all.
That's why I was disappointed the Chelsea game got postponed, because I could see us right now, the way that we're playing, we could have smashed Chelsea so easily with this run. But the fact that we're going to take a little break, come back, play City, play a bunch of these games afterwards, I don't know if the break is going to take any momentum away from us. But when you're on a good roll, you just want to keep it going. You don't want to stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're Egal. We're heading back to Dubai, mate.
There you go.
Maybe you should. How you doing, Staffy? You all right, mate?
Yeah, I heard this is the testimonial stream for Ramsdale, so I just wanted to take parts of paying my respects to an all-time Arsenal great. Maybe there's a few pigeons that you guys will set free before the game starts, just for his last home game. But how's everyone doing?
I'm
good. I'm good. In terms of Arsenal score,
this Ram guy. See, I just called you Ramsdale instead of Ram because you can't behave yourself. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Terry?
No, the score predictions for the Arsenal game. I'm going to go to Ram first of all.
3-0. It's going to be comfortable. They're going to play like Man City. They're just going to pass it around after 60 minutes. You know what I mean? So It's what it is.
LB,
3-0, man.
Phil,
3-1.
Tony, go, I
Steph?
take it.
They'll take their foot off the gas because they have Porto coming up. So probably 3-0.
Matty,
3-0.
and Egal.
I want 5. 5 now.
I agree. I think it's going to be 5-0. I think you can score 5 goals.
They're going to see Egal in the
We're gonna beat Brentford
stands.
5-0.
And they're going to be like, let's score more. Egal's
Yeah,
here.
Egal's
Yeah,
here.
I listen. The Salibas be like, guys, Egal's here. We've got to score for him today. Like, straight up. We've seen him dancing on TikTok. We got to help the man. This is. I have a question for the teams in the title race. In your opinion, what is the difference in your team compared to the others that will make you win the league? But what can also stop you from winning it too? Great question, Joshua Jack. I'm going to throw it to Ram first of all. What makes you better than the other two, and what will stop you?
What makes us better, in my opinion, is I think the unity around the whole squad and the manager, and there's like a united cause. I think there's just a lot more unity within the squad, and there's like a common goal for everyone to do, which is make sure Klopp leaves and rides off into the sunset with a happy ending. So I think that's what we have. That is,
We're happy ending. Oh, okay.
Don't twist it, Terry. Don't twist it.
You said it. Happy ending.
That's your mind, not mine. That's yours.
No, we all know what one is. Come on. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
Yeah, I think there's a better unity around the squad compared to
Young Matt
everybody
said,
else.
like, what's that mean?
Listen,
So you think you got better unity? How do you know you got better unity in the other clubs?
The fact that even though when we're playing poorly, we still end up winning matches. I think that's one thing. I think even though Arsenal win their match, they win it when they're playing really well. When they do play poorly, sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's not very good. So yeah, and I think I could say the same for City.
But what are you waffling about, man?
I'm
Unity. That's the best thing that you could. This is a great question from Josh Jack. Yeah, and the best thing that you can come up with is you're unified.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at LB's face the whole time. I'm not gonna lie.
This is the best thing. Like Egal, yeah, and Matt, these guys gonna have like Bibles of like literal pages of everything that Arsenal are good at right now. And the best thing that you can come up as a Liverpool fan is that you're unified. Oh, we're all pulling together in the same direction. Go on, bro. Talk to us about Salah. Talk to us about Nunes sitting some.
Salah's not 100% fit. Nunes is banging goals, and that's because there's a lot more confidence within the team. So again, unity, confidence, everything like that.
LB, the only thing they have better than us is vibes.
Is Jurgen Klopp.
Vibes.
So Liverpool's going to win because of vibes.
Jurgen Klopp.
How about yourself, LB? What would you say? What would you say your strength over the others is?
Our strength is that we've done it multiple times. We've hunted teams down multiple times, and no matter how bad it gets, we probably won't feel the pressure as much as the other two sides because we've been there and done it. Our weakness is not putting games away. Liverpool at home, 1-0 up, didn't put them away. Tottenham was one goal up against them, didn't put them away. We've been Palace, 2-0 up, didn't put them away, didn't get that third goal, drew 2-2. If that continues, we won't win the league because we'll draw too many games. So we've got to start putting teams away. We've got to start being more clinical in front of goal. But our obvious strength is, we've done it before, and I think that our City players will be relishing being in this position. Our next 3 games will make or break our season. We win them, we win the league. We beat Arsenal. We beat Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa. We win the league, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think many people would disagree with that.
Our weakness is injuries.
Come on, bro! I literally just told you a legit weakness. Yeah, come from the heart. That about finishing. What is your weekness? You got to say.
I think honestly is the fact that we give up so many chances. At some point, it can bite us in the back. Honestly, if we're talking from a tactical standpoint, the fact that we made sure Sparta Prague honestly should have scored about 3 or 4 goals. That's how leaky we were. So I think we just need to sort out our defense and
can I ask you something, Ram?
We have to have him there all the time. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry for that. Can I ask you something? Do you not worry for the lack of patterns that you have in your team? And when I say patterns, it's not just on one end. You just called your team out for the defensive side. I can also make an argument for the attacking side. If I would look at all
100%.
three of your teams, and I'll explain it in a second, the difference between LB's team, Egal's team, obviously Matt's team, Arsenal, is that you can actually predict how their games are going to look. I don't really know how to predict Liverpool games, other than us saying, yeah, they'll always, like, score goals because they have good individuals up front. There's not really a way to predict how Liverpool are going to play. One day, you guys are absolutely smashing someone. One day, you play absolutely shit, concede a goal, but then you come back from 3-1, 2-1, whatever it is. There's no way that you guys play football. You guys are just a chaotic team, which is exciting to watch. Don't get me wrong, for neutrals, but I don't know how you guys sit
Can I
through it as
argue?
Liverpool fans and know what's going to happen.
Can I argue that also makes us dangerous? The fact
Of
that
course
there
it
is
does.
no predictability, the
Dangerous.
fact that you can't tell what we're going to play.
Dangerous.
I
There
agree
is
with
just
you.
Sorry,
Bible
my
right
mic ain't muted. Sorry.
there. Yeah, the fact that there is an element of unpredictability also makes us dangerous. And I wouldn't say there is no patterns of play. I think there are patterns of play that we can see that is starting to come around, especially actually comes around when McAllister is on the ball. So I think there are certain patterns of play, but unpredictability can be your best ally at the same time.
Egal, what is the unique element of Arsenal that stands you apart from the other two? What creates, I'm going to sound corporate here, what creates the clear blue water between you, City, and Liverpool?
Our suffocating defense. We have the best defense out of the three, by far. We do not give away too many chances to our opponents. We do not give them too many shots on target. We do not give them many sniffs at our goal. And when we control the game and we hold on to possession, they barely even get an opportunity to get at our goal. So in comparison to Liverpool and City, we have by far the best defense out of the three. Now, what their weaknesses are and what their strengths are compared to us, they both have the experience over us. City have players in their team that have been able to win year in, year out, and they know what it's like. Where Liverpool, they currently have a team that it doesn't matter what they face, they just are continuously rolling through and getting their victories. But where I think they're both going to fall short is this. I think City having so many games, so many of these big games continuously throughout the seasons, year in, year out. Obviously, they have the experience, but right now they're gonna find a situation where they're gonna have to continuously battle till the end of the season. And I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep that same level of consistency when they're having to play Champions League consistently, do the league, and also with the cup. Year after year, eventually you're gonna see some fatigue from a team that's winning every single year, and maybe it's this season. I know it hasn't happened over the last few, but it could be this year. As for Liverpool, we're already seeing cracks in their shell. They're conceding goals to the likes of Luton. They're conceding goals consistently, and it's taking them 90 minutes to win games. Where City, Arsenal, we're having games dead and buried after 45 minutes. Eventually, that takes a toll on a team, and we see it through injuries, and we see it through performances. Liverpool's performances have been the worst out of the three, I would say. But guess what? They get the job done. So I'm not going to criticize too much, but hey, that's my points.
To be fair, LB's team struggled 3 games in a row, and then the almighty United turned up, and that's what
yeah. Matt, what would you say Arsenal's biggest weakness is, their biggest individual weakness?
I'd say, I mean, we've not really seen it yet, but I would probably say complacency is our probable weakness, if I could pick one out, because I can't really think of any weaknesses as of right now, because our form is unbelievable. But I would probably say complacency.
Sorry, consistency?
Complacency.
Complacency. Would you not say it's a weakness that no one really in this squad, your manager, have been successful in title races? So even though you've learned from last year, do you not think it's a weakness compared to Liverpool and City that there's a naivety in getting over the line with yours? Because that from an outsider looking in, that's what I would say is probably your biggest weakness right now. Because on the field, no, you don't appear to have any weaknesses, but I think it's more mental with Arsenal than it is physical.
Yeah,
there we go. Great super chat. Ramsdale should have played against Sheffield United, is what Ari says here. Oh, cry twice then. I can imagine. Can I manage Liverpool for that happy ending? That's gross, bruv. Lost my friend to cancer, and I'm literally broken. Oral Campbell, very, very sorry to hear about that, my friend, and rest in peace to your friend. I'm very, very sorry to hear that news. On Ramsdale, the journey we've been on with this group of young players and the unity Arteta has created after so long in the doldrums, it hits different.
Oh, cry me a river, bro. Come on. Really? Really? What's he done for your club?
When you don't win for so long, that's what happens. You create these emotional attachment to players. Trust me, bro. The minute they see a Premier League, they won't care about all that.
Bloody hell. Are you that
just
down
go back
bad?
to that Ramsdale super chat?
Yeah.
That he should have played at Sheffield United.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think he should have, because I don't think he. I can't get my words out, but there's no reason for him to play in that game because he would have had nothing to do. So what would he be there for? To collect a clean sheet?
Also, he's a professional footballer, man. He don't want pity minutes. You know what I mean? He wants he wants proper minutes.
For real. I
you
like
also
you.
want to test him, like surely you want to keep him up to speed and whatnot.
I like you, Egal, but shut up. If we lose, I'm after you. Is what Sam says.
It's the exact tone as well that you said it, Terry. It's the exact tone.
Manny said 1-0 Tony goal coming, isn't it? Thanks, Egal. Can you imagine if Tony does that?
Listen, I heard this. I've heard this. Burnley's going to score against us. Sheffield United has something for me. McBurney has something for me. Every week I hear it. Guys, you guys are hoping. Why is it when it's Arsenal, it's laughable? Hey, I swear to God, the day we win, I'm dunking on everybody's head top.
By the way, I'm going to say this. I back Egal here. Listen, viewers, do not have fun when you're watching this show. Do not have any banter. Don't have a little joke, especially not at Egal's expense. Please. Oh, Egal, come on. He's joking. It's hope. Come on. This here says, Egal, you are not a good luck charm, my bro, is what Tevin says. Talking of City fans, what happened to Big Steve? Big Steve's doing his thing, man. He's just moved on to do other things. Still chat to him every now and then. He's killing it over there, officially working for City. Big up to him. There we go. Score predictions, guys, for we haven't really spoken about it, but Spurs Villa. What are you going with, Ram? That's the first Super Sunday game.
It's at Villa Park, isn't it?
No. I mean, it is. Yes, it is. Sorry, I'm a liar.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to go for Desmond Tutu.
Desmond Tutu. How about yourself, LB?
Villa played last night in the Conference League. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Spurs.
Ooh. Big Phil?
I think I'm going to go with a 2-1 Villa. I think Villa's Ollie Watkins at the moment. He's just in this run of form that he's just got this belief in himself every time he steps on the pitch, and other players are scoring around him. They've got centre back, can't think of his name. He's back, sort of thing. So he's playing well for them. He's helping transform the team. So yeah, I think 2-1 Villa.
Egal?
Be prepared for an entertaining 5-goal thriller. Tottenham take a 2-goal lead. Aston Villa come back, score 3-2. Aston Villa.
Ooh. I like the flavor there of your prediction, Egal.
Why did it sound like you're on a radio when you said that? Like your tone changed. Get ready for a 5-goal thriller.
Yeah, like those old. You remember those old trailers for films?
Oh yeah.
Once upon a time in Egal land.
In a world where Tottenham don't lose games. Or some random
is crazy. That's a good one. Egal
land. We're moving on. Matt, what's your score prediction?
I'm gonna put a cheeky £5 bet on my score prediction. I'm gonna say 3-1, 3-2 Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins with a brace.
How about yourself, Staffy boy?
That's a 6-pointer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, it's going to be a dagger in all the top Reds' hearts when United can no longer make top 4. But I think Villa are going to win this. I know they just played like LB said, but they're at home. I don't really trust Spurs away from home. I don't know their record really, but I don't trust them away from home. I think Villa win this one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Villa win as well and go 2-1 Villa in this game. That will give them a nice 8-point cushion in the top 4. And I think top 4 is then settled. for the rest of the season. It'd be nice. If you could pick one player from your rival's squad, who would it be? I'm going to throw this to a few of you. I'm going to go to Phil first. Phil, one player from Liverpool you would take. Who'd be the first name you'd take?
From Liverpool, dear me.
Yeah.
You probably have injured or not, because there's a lot of injuries there we've heard at the moment. Now, dear me, Liverpool. You have to say Salah. You'd have to.
Yeah.
Especially with our right wing as well. Replace Anthony, not a problem. Yeah.
Matt, who would you take from Spurs?
From Spurs. Mickey van der Ven.
I like that. Staffy, who would you take? Who would you take from City, Staffy?
Can I take the manager, please? Or does it have to be a player?
I like that.
I'll take the manager.
Ram, who would you take from Manchester United? It's your biggest rival. It's your biggest rival.
Man United.
It's either United or Everton, so pick one team to pick from.
Oh my god. Oh no, I don't know, Terry. I don't know. Well, starting 11 or just a squad in general?
Just what would be the one player you'd take?
Because he's so talented and I'm a big fan of him and I want him. If I had him in my squad, I'd be so happy. Kobe Mino.
Love that. Egal, I'm not going to give you Spurs. Who would you take from Chelsea?
The amount of corn you
I'm
have.
honestly thinking I'll take Malagusto.
Okay, I like that.
Lorenzo.
And LB, I'm going to give you an historical, like your biggest rival historically. Who would you take from Oldham?
Oldham.
Who would you take from Liverpool? Who would you take from Liverpool?
Yeah, probably Salah. Sorry.
Salah. I like that. Oh, if it was City, I'd take Haaland. If it was Liverpool, I'd actually. Do you know what? I'd go for Haaland.
Take Haaland.
Why wouldn't you take Haaland? So why would you not take the greatest striker that the world has seen since R9?
I thought you would say someone like Rodri.
Yeah,
no. He's 10 a penny. He's 10 a penny. I'm joking. No, but Rodri would be great. But I just like Haaland. I like the hair. If it was Liverpool, I'd go for Alisson actually in goal. Yeah, I love Salah, but best goalie in the world would help. You know what I mean? So that's what I'd do. Look, I want to thank everyone who has tuned in today. I am finishing the show now because I am absolutely wrecked and I need my bed because I didn't sleep much last night. Obviously celebrating with KJ. Please go and check out Match Bingo if you haven't done so yet. There's free cards available for the first game tomorrow, Man United versus Everton. So scan the QR code or click on the link below. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to speak football with you all. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Smash the like button before you go, and we'll see you all again soon.